I lost 100 pounds and got jacked. Right now, I'm 140 pounds and in the healthiest, fittest shape of my life. But if I could go back to my 270 pound self and give her some advice on how to lose the weight much faster and keep it off, these are the 5 rules that I'd tell her to follow. Women lose muscle at a rate of 0.5 to 1% of their muscle mass per year after 30 if they're not doing the things that they did to build the muscle, to maintain it. If you don't use it, you lose it. Now you might think, do I really need muscle? But I don't want to be bulky. Trust me, you do. And also, being bulky takes intention. I've been working at it for years, and I wouldn't consider myself bulky. So do you really need muscle as an aging woman? Yeah. Here's why. Having muscle mass on your body not only improves your bone density, it's going to help prevent things like osteoporosis. About 1 in 3 women over the age of 50 will experience some sort of bone fracture in their lifetime. They're most commonly in the hip, the spine, or the wrist. This can just be a fracture or something like you don't have good core stability because you don't have muscle mass and you slip and you fall. Muscle on your body takes energy to just exist, which increases your metabolic capacity. Think about it like this. This cup is your metabolic capacity. You can fill the water right up to here, and that's your caloric limit for the day. But having muscle mass on your body is like having a bigger cup. So essentially, you can eat the same amount, but now you're in a calorie deficit, which is going to help you keep the fat off. If you're eating adequate protein and doing resistance training, you're going to keep your muscle mass. Having muscle on your body helps to optimize your hormones too. It helps to regulate your insulin and balance your blood sugar. It increases your growth hormone, which generally slows down after the age of 30. It increases your testosterone production, which, hold up, is a good thing. You might be like,
that's a man's hormone.
But having a normal level of testosterone is going to help with your sex drive and your energy levels. It helps to reduce chronically high cortisol. It increases your endorphins and serotonin and reduces menopause symptoms. Having muscle or looking toned is going to help you to feel sexy, confident, and overall like a boss. And this is just gonna help you overall with your confidence and how you show up. Think about this. If you're proud of your body, you're gonna show up differently. Your energy is different versus being slumped over and adjusting your clothes and trying to get your shirt out of your rolls and standing in the back in pictures, all things which I did. You show up differently and you do things like our clients who have applied for jobs that before they had no business applying for, or they didn't think so anyways, but they've improved their confidence through improving their body composition and mindset and acquired jobs they didn't even think that they could get. And this just isn't my opinion. Someone with a fit body is more respected. That's just the way humans work. Put down your pitchfork. To keep your muscle mass as an aging woman, it's recommended that you do some resistance training at least 3 days a week. That's it, 3 days. Eat adequate protein. The next thing I'd tell my 270 pound self to do, get to stepping. Right now, as I'm prepping for a bodybuilding show, I'm hitting about 25,000 steps a day, which is probably a bit excessive for what you would need to do or what she would need to do. My 270 pound self. But back then, I was getting maybe 5,000 steps in a day. So just increasing that up to 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 10,000 over time, not overnight, obviously, is going to make a huge difference just in activity level alone. And it's a great place to start when you're just getting started and you're feeling awkward in the gym and don't know what to do. You can just go for a 10-minute walk and get about 1,000 steps. How many 10-minute windows do you have in your day to just increase your steps a little bit versus trying to get to the gym for an hour workout? One of our clients who loved training shoulders, just like me, had a shoulder injury. Before that, she was resisting getting her steps up and she wanted to just go to the gym and train. She's beating herself up because she now couldn't go to the gym and train her favorite body part, shoulders. And we finally got her to just walk a little bit more in that time instead. On one of our last coaching calls, she was like,
would you believe my parents are fitting better and the scale's going down and all I started doing was walking more now?
Hate to say I told you so, but told you so. If you look at your total daily energy expenditure, or your TDEE, you'll notice that your NEAT, or non-exercise activity thermogenesis, is the second highest of your calorie burn throughout the day. So that's just your day-to-day actions like walking, housework, things like that aren't intentionally going to the gym. These are pretty important when you're trying to increase your daily calorie burn. And increasing your steps is a lot easier than trying to force yourself to run, especially as an overweight woman. And it's probably not even the best thing for your joints, nor is it fun. Don't try to tell yourself it is. All you have to do is download a step tracker. I use my Oura Ring. I also sometimes use my Apple Watch, but you can download a step tracker for free. If you're watching this video, you likely have a phone. There's apps that you can download for free on there and just throw this in your pocket or in your bra. if you don't have a pocket. Just run that step tracker on autopilot for a week and see what your average daily steps are. Now take that and increase it by 500 over the next 7 days and keep going. Keep trying to increase that daily average by about 500 a week until you've got yourself somewhere between 8,000 to 12,000 steps on average day. The third thing I'd tell her, what you don't measure, you can't manage. If you've been watching me on social media for the last year, for 2024, I started a 30-day challenge that turned into about 100 days of no alcohol, no ice cream, no protein bars, and no energy drinks for 30 days, or until I hit a weight goal. Then I stretched it out to 100 days, and then I celebrated. I started adding things back in and kind of was more based on fuck around and find out, but all I was doing was fucking around and I wasn't finding anything out because I wasn't managing the data anymore. I fell into the trap of I feel like I'm eating healthy, but I'm not making any progress. I was eating healthy, but I wasn't eating in a caloric deficit. All the little things add up, like the mom tax when you open a package and you take a bite, or you eat the leftover sandwich that's there, or pancakes, or the nuts, or whatever. It all adds up, and before you know it, you ate 1,000 extra calories of bites, licks, tastes, extras that weren't necessary. I was really in the mindset of like, I want to enjoy my life and travel. Which I currently am, but I was looking at it as an either or instead of a both and. And then Ronnie, my videographer / miracle social media man, so dreamy, was videoing me posing one day in the posing room in the gym, and he's like,
"Man, your back is jacked."
I was like, I'm not a man. And I thought, why don't I actually find out instead of just fucking around? And now here we are 20-some weeks later in Mexico, traveling with my kids, enjoying my life, prepping for my first bodybuilding show. That's 2 weeks from today. So all I did to go from the 176-ish pound plateau I was hanging out at to 140 pounds now was track my nutrition in grams. I got a food scale. I use MyFitnessPal. I eat in a calorie deficit, whole nutrient dense foods. That's where I would tell my 270-pound self to start with nutrition, just tracking, because it can be overwhelming to try and hit your calories, let alone your macros in grams and percentages, all the things. So just start tracking to become aware of how much you're actually eating, and stop telling yourself you think you're in a calorie deficit. And please stop telling yourself that you're not eating enough to lose weight, because if that was a thing, then starvation wouldn't be a thing. You're likely eating a lot more than you think, and you're not in a calorie deficit, and that's why you're not making progress. Most importantly, don't forget the BLTs, the bikes, the licks, the tastes, because those are the things that are sneaky that add up when you can easily consume an extra 1,000 calories and feel like you ate nothing. Also, stay away from pancakes and croissants and bagels for breakfast. Get some protein in to start the day instead of spiking your blood sugar to start the roller coaster. Now that 270-pound ex-teen has an understanding of what she's eating, eat more protein. Tracking your food is going to bring awareness to where your protein sources are actually coming from, and where your carbs, your sugars, your fats are coming from, all of those things. You're going to have a new level of awareness, and now that you're tracking it, you can manage it. Protein is quite literally the building blocks of muscle. And so if you're not eating enough protein, it's going to be hard for your body to build that muscle mass that you're looking for, even if you're doing the resistance training. Not only that, it has the highest TEF, which is the thermal effect of food. So protein takes the most energy for your body just to digest. Some people say you should eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Some say 1 gram per pound of goal body weight. What I say you should do is go to our free calorie calculator in the description, enter in all your info, make sure you don't overestimate what your daily activity is. I would say maybe underestimate it. Take the information from that calorie calculator and plug it into MyFitnessPal. Start tracking. If you didn't, we're gonna start there. If you're only eating like 50 grams of protein a day, that's just not acceptable. We have to be better. Let's meet you where you're at, take you where you need to go. Start by tracking 7 days. You're gonna see how much protein you're eating daily on the average. And just like our steps, we're gonna work to increase that daily, meal by meal. Focus on incorporating high protein sources. So something like breakfast, instead of having avocado toast or overnight oats, which you think are marketed that are good for you and healthy, you could even just add in egg whites. And I say egg whites, not because the yolk of an egg is bad for you, but because the protein is in the white. So if you're having 2 eggs versus if you're having 200 grams of egg whites, you're gonna get a lot more protein in the egg whites than if you're having 2 eggs. You can even have 2 eggs and add in 200 grams of egg whites. But things like egg whites, extra lean ground beef, chicken, ground turkey, tuna, all great sources of protein. Things like peanut butter, quinoa, edamame, protein bars, nuts. Those are not great sources of protein. They have some protein in them, yes, but they're not a great source of protein because generally they have either more fat, like peanut butter has a lot of fat, which makes it very calorie dense. And let's face it, there's no harder reality check than actually weighing a serving, which is 15 grams of peanut butter, not like just scooping, oh yeah, that's a tablespoon. You probably had 200 to 300 calories instead of 90. So just because there's protein in something doesn't make it a great source of protein. Even something like a protein bar. Yes, it has protein. Most of them, if you get a higher protein one, have at least 20 grams of protein, 17 to 20. But they probably have that much or more of carbs also. So you're not just increasing your protein. Whereas if you found a protein powder, which is probably at least 20 to 28, 30 grams of protein per serving and has less than 3 grams of carbs and fat in it, that's going to increase your protein substantially versus jacking up your fats or carbs. Let me get this to you one more time, louder for those in the back. Just because it says protein or has protein doesn't make it a great protein source. Even something like Vector cereal, which is marketed as high protein, the nutritional information they put on the front of the box includes milk. If I'm not mistaken, if you compare dry Vector and dry Cheerios, Cheerios has more protein per equal serving than Vector. It's just Vector is smart with their marketing and puts the amount of protein with milk in their nutritional information, which is all on the front of the box. Clever. Don't get fooled. Even protein Cheerios, which I've seen in our client community versus just regular Cheerios, it has only like 2 grams more protein per serving and way more sugar, surprisingly. Make sure you turn over a package and look at it. If the majority of the calories isn't coming from protein, it's not a good protein source. Rounding off, lucky number 5, which is my favorite number. I'm also the 5th child. This is my number on my jersey playing sports. Soccer's my jam. Anyways, number 5, so many of the women that we work with are emotional eaters. I was an emotional eater, binge eater, big time. You get me triggered, the kids are fighting, I'm down in a sleeve of Oreos to try and make myself feel better. And then I'm gonna get up the next morning and do a bunch of cardio to try and burn off those Oreos. And then I'm gonna do it again and again and again. You can know all of the things in the world, but if you can't get yourself to do, you're gonna have a very hard time making progress. If you can't get yourself to track everything, or you're only tracking the things that look good in your nutritional log, you're not doing yourself any favors. The only one you're fooling is you. And you're probably not even fooling you. You're probably beating yourself up about it. Story time. My kids were a huge trigger for me. Anyone screaming or getting angry or any kind of confrontation in my general vicinity, still to this day, makes me go over to the pantry and look in there. It makes me start, my mouth's getting lonely. What can I put in it to make myself feel better? Because I don't like confrontation. I don't like screaming. I don't like any of that. And so to soothe it, to self-soothe, to pacify, think about it, from the day you are born, if you're upset, if you're crying, something goes in your mouth, whether it's food, whether it's a soother, your mom's boob, whatever, something goes in your mouth. Nowadays, people drink, people smoke, people eat, all the things to make ourselves feel better, right? Instead of just managing our emotions. So, some things I would tell my 270-pound self at this point: stop bringing the shit into the house, first of all. If you have to go out to go get it, you're less likely to actually do that. And if you go out and go get it, just have a portion. Don't bring it into your house. Then you don't have it to eat. Practice the pause. Take a moment. Am I bored? Am I lonely? Am I angry? Am I stressed or sad? Am I tired? Like, what am I actually feeling? Or am I truly hungry? If you are actually hungry, there's so many better things to put into your mouth than ice cream and Oreos that's going to serve your body better and actually serve your health and nutrition versus your emotional state. But if you're not hungry, food isn't the answer. Like, if,
oh no, my partner left me and I'm sad.
Is eating ice cream and chocolate gonna fix that for you? Probably not. Is going for a walk and moving your body and changing your energy and your emotional state gonna help? Getting some fresh air and some sunlight on your skin? Probably. Humans are meant to feel emotions. It's okay. You're not gonna die there. It'll pass. Also, cravings are neck up. It's something in your head. Your body does not want ice cream. It's like putting sugar in a car's gas tank. It's your mind that wants it, not your body. But there's other things you can do to solve that. I used to do this thing called leave the house instead of leave my body. Because once I became aware that I was disassociating, detaching from my emotions by eating, drinking, or getting high, then I realized if I leave the house, I won't leave my body through those things. So I'll go for a walk, change my emotional state, feel better without eating a sleeve of Oreos, being knuckles deep in the peanut butter jar, going back and forth to the pantry 10 times like a trash panda, expecting there'd be something different in there, but I already ate all the Oreos. So if you're numbing out the negative emotions with food, you're probably numbing out or lessening the positive emotions too, which is not fun. And that leads me to nothing has any meaning other than the meaning that you give it. You don't have to feel like you're a bad mom or a bad partner or whatever because of the stress that you're putting on yourself. You're giving it that meaning. If someone says to you,
Aren't you on a diet? Can you eat that?
and you're like, you mofo, I'm gonna eat this whole bucket of ice cream now. I'm gonna eat the whole cake instead of just the piece that I had planned in to eat. That's you. It's not them. It's you. We have so many emotional ties and things that we've given meaning to in our head, like, well, I have my period, so I need chocolate and ice cream. I'm watching a movie, so I need popcorn. It's pizza night, so we have to order pizza. Breakfast foods include toast and pastries and pancakes and bagels, and they don't have to. Be the change. Or like, my partner left me and I'm not good enough. You are good enough. We take one thing and we tie that in with all of our life and give it this meaning when it doesn't have to be that way. The last part of this is accepting what is versus the story you're telling yourself about it. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Also, if you want to create change in your life, something has to change. And so trying that same fad diet that you did, or trying it the way that you did it last time when it worked, if it worked last time, it would still be working now, right? So I beg of you, if you want to change your health, one thing at a time, just like a staircase, one stair at a time, little by little, a little becomes a lot. Create these little changes in your life that are serving your future self and not your current self. Example, we had a client who gave up drinking for 2 weeks, was feeling amazing, went out and had a drink, went down the whole trigger of the munchies starting and then sleeping in the next day, not doing the things that she was creating in her lifestyle that were currently serving her to feel good. She slid to the track of old patterns and old habits that were no longer serving her. Now she became aware of that, and in the future going forward, she can use that experience to make a new choice, and so can you. I hope these things helped you create the future version of you, and I just want to help you. I just want to be the person that I needed when I was 270 pounds and just try and fad diet after fad diet. I'd love to know in the comments what your favorite part of this whole video was, and just make sure you hit follow, subscribe, whatever it is. I'm new here, so that you see the next video.